It's right there. Some more there. Where? Are you serious? No. Got it. You know you. Why is bacon here? Because he was the DC. I said, where is bacon? Oh, dude, I know you use Lieutenant Colonel Wyatt Hall. Come here. Where is he? I don't know where it's. Oh. Juan Jose was supposed to make an appearance, but he didn't. Lamb? Yeah. Oh my god, De Hoyos! Where is... he knows. So, and he knows it's there. And I have to come back to work.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony will begin in 2 minutes. Please take your seats and silence all cell phones. Deputy Commandant, march in the corps. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Riverside Military Academy's 115th commencement ceremony. As we begin our ceremony, the faculty will enter from your left, and from the center doors of Lanier Hall, the president and the commandant will lead in the stage party and the graduating class. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the class of 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and President of the Academy, we extend a special welcome to the family and friends of the class of 2026 and to our alumni who have joined us today. Would all Riverside alumni in the audience please stand and be recognized? Thank you, gentlemen. Please be seated. Before we begin, a few brief notes for parents and graduates. Restrooms are available in Alumni Hall to your left. Water, first aid, and sunscreen are available at the first aid table, also to your left. When the formal ceremony is concluded and cadet hats are tossed into the air, teachers will form a gauntlet in front of Alumni Hall so that the graduates may say goodbye to their teachers before departing. Once our graduates have had an opportunity to speak with their teachers, they will be ready to celebrate with you. Final processing and issuance of the official diploma will be conducted in Curtis Hall, which is down the stairs to your right. And now, please rise as the Academy Band plays the national anthem and remain standing for the invocation, which will be given by the Academy Chaplain, Reverend Dr. Jim Howell.
Let us pray. Eternal God, on this graduation day, we stand at the crossroads of endless possibilities. And we pray for the strength to overcome obstacles and the courage to pursue our dreams. Grant us the resilience to face adversity with grace and determination. And may your unwavering support be our constant companion on this life journey. Thank you for the lessons learned and the growth achieved during our time at Riverside. Grant us the courage to seize every opportunity and to embrace the adventure that lies ahead. As we enter this new phase of life, may your presence empower us to overcome all challenges. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Good morning and welcome one and all, as today we formally recognize and graduate the Riverside Academy class of 2026. Riverside is much more than a job. And while teachers and staff come and go, Riverside never leaves them. We're pleased to see some of our former teammates, including Dean Kathy Moore, in the audience this morning. Would Dean Moore and all other former Riverside staff and faculty please stand to be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. This is Riverside Military Academy's 115th consecutive commencement, signifying the end of one of the most successful years in the Academy's history. This ceremony is being broadcast live around the world so that the RMA community of international families from 8 countries and 16 U.S. states may observe. Today's graduates alone represent 4 distinct countries. International cadet graduates, when I read your country's name, please stand to be recognized and remain standing. Guatemala, Mexico, Nigeria, and Vietnam. Please be seated, gentlemen. Today's graduates have earned millions in collegiate scholarships as they gained admissions to an ever-increasing number of top-tier universities. Will all cadets who have earned a college scholarship please stand to be recognized? That's your return on investment. Please be seated. And of course, at yesterday's parade or Silver Taps events, we recognized those cadets entering directly into the military, as well as those receiving collegiate ROTC scholarships. Those cadets are the future leaders of our armed forces. Will those cadets committed to serve in our armed forces please stand? Please be seated. Will our graduates who represented Riverside on interscholastic athletic or academic competitive teams and their coaches or advisors please rise? Among this standing group are regional and state champions in their fields. Please be seated. Will those cadets who have performed voluntary community service, either here or at home, please stand? Such selfless citizenship without compensation provides social services to our communities that are not affordable through our governments alone. We thank you and expect that you will continue to provide service to your communities long after you leave this campus. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the accomplishments by these young men indeed define the Riverside class of 26. They have proven their leadership, their intellect, their physicality, their spirit, their grit, and most importantly, their brotherhood. They are prepared to assume roles as the leaders of tomorrow, the captains of industry, and as responsible husbands and fathers. Finally, it is with sincere appreciation for the sacrifices made by the parents, guardians, and families that I ask those parents and guardians of our graduates to please stand to be recognized and thanked by our graduates, the faculty, and the Riverside staff. Please be seated. Before the formal segment unfolds, a few brief reminders for parents and guests so that all present may enjoy today's event. Please keep your umbrellas closed throughout the ceremony. That one should be easy. And avoid blocking the view of others when taking pictures. The formal ceremony concludes only after the cadets recess through the faculty and alumni gauntlet. Please remain at your seats until that recessional is complete. Without further ado, Dean Hadaway.
Dr. Daniel will now present the Sandy Beaver Medal of General Excellence, which is the highest honor bestowed on a cadet at Riverside Military Academy. This award is named for General Sandy Beaver, President and Chairman of the Board of Riverside for 56 years, dating from 1913 to 1969. It is presented annually in recognition of the superior overall performance of a cadet. The award is based on leadership, scholarship, integrity, commitment, decisiveness, and selflessness. We are honored to have past recipients in attendance today and ask that all recipients of the prestigious Sandy Beaver Medal of General Excellence stand at this time to be recognized. Thank you, gentlemen. You may be seated. This year's recipient of the Sandy Beaver Medal of General Excellence embodies servant leadership. He enrolled at Riverside starting in his 9th grade year, and at every level he has sought out leadership opportunities. He also excels academically with an overall GPA of 4.12. He has taken a challenging course load that includes advanced placement courses in physics, psychology, and U.S. history. He also took dual enrollment classes in American government, American history, world civilization, and economics of financial literacy. During his years at Riverside, our awardee has demonstrated determination and focus. Not only does he perform at the highest levels academically, he is also an outstanding leader and athlete, and he is this year's battalion commander. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate the 2026 recipient of the Sandy Beaver Medal of General Excellence, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Jack Cavallari. We are pleased to be joined today by a former recipient of the Sandy Beaver Medal of General Excellence, Mr. Caleb Baker, Riverside Class of 2025. And we ask now that he join us on stage to share a few brief remarks.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Caleb Baker, and I have the honor of speaking for this event and joining in to celebrate the class of 2026, who I would like to congratulate for all the incredible accomplishments throughout the year. Next, I would like to extend my gratitude to all the families and loved ones who were able to make it today, as I know the impact that your presence has on these gentlemen before us. Your commitment and dedication is one of the key foundations of the success of the young men before you. Finally, I would like to thank Riverside for the countless hours and effort you poured into the cadets over the years. I'm currently a supply chain management major at Auburn University, where I'm also a member of the ROTC battalion on campus. While the military structure and discipline remained consistent from my time here, everything in my life rapidly changed outside of that. I went from strict wake-up times, daily formations, leadership obligations, and constant routine to class being done by 12 p.m. and having more free time than I know what to do with. While this sounds great to many of the graduates sitting in front of me, it's a blessing and a curse. As you go from the daily regimen of Riverside to the immense freedom of founding college and life away from the academy, you'll need to take steps to ensure you don't sink in this newfound life of luxury. One of the key characteristics of Riverside is the schedule and routine. There are very few people our age around the nation who keep such a continuous schedule day in and day out. While at Riverside, I saw the routine as confinement and something that held held us back and kept us from doing what we wanted to do, which is partially true looking back. It was to protect us from ourselves. When I got to Auburn, I saw the opportunity for freedom and completely rejected the idea of making myself a schedule outside of class and ROTC. At the time, it seemed unnecessary because I had nothing else to do throughout the day. However, I quickly saw myself falling behind in the classroom and in ROTC. I had fallen into the trap of freedom and forgot to define my priorities. I was in your seats a year ago, so I know what you're thinking right now, and it's something along the lines of, no, that won't be me, I'm very focused. Trust me, I said the same thing. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't matter how focused you are if you don't set expectations and boundaries for yourself. The most important boundary I had to figure out was my routine. Finding the ability to deny myself the seemingly endless leisure I wanted was extremely difficult, but ended up being the best decision I made at Auburn. I saw my academic performance begin to rise again, and my ability to focus on ROTC increased drastically. So, while I know you are anticipating getting away from the schedule and the daily demands of Riverside and going into a new life on your own, be grateful for what you learned here, and make sure you carry that discipline and routine with you while you experience life in whatever field you decide to go into. Make sure you stay true to your goals and hold yourself accountable as well. Making a schedule is the biggest thing you can do in college, and if you can hold yourself to that, it's going to pay out more than you know. For the underclassmen, for y'all, I just say soak it all in. The years are going to fly by, and you'll miss them when you're gone. You're going to miss the people around you and the memories that you made here. Just buy into the schedule and pour into the people around you and focus on what you can do to make this place and your experience here better while you are here. Thank you all for your time today. I did my best to keep it brief because I know that all the guys right here are just looking forward to walking across the stage. And to the 2026 class, once again, congratulations. I can't wait to hear how far y'all go moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. At this time, we'll recognize an outstanding cadet whose academic achievements have been hard-earned and notable. This cadet truly values learning, demands excellence in himself, and has taken on the challenge of completing a rigorous course of study while at Riverside, including honors, advanced placement courses, and dual enrollment courses. He has earned a gold star in 7 consecutive semesters since enrolling in high school, meaning that he has maintained a 4.0 or higher GPA each semester. The cadet to be recognized as receiving the Exceptional Scholarship Medal is Cadet Naveen Majumdar. Cadet Majumdar, please join us on stage.
One of the great gifts of commencement is that every once in a while we are reminded that the young men who cross this stage do not simply leave this school behind. They carry it with them, and if we are fortunate, they spend a lifetime giving something back to the place that helped to shape them. Today, we have the privilege of welcoming home one of our own. 45 years ago, our commencement speaker sat where our graduates are sitting now. He walked across this very stage as the valedictorian of the class of 1981. A young man distinguished not only by academic excellence, but by discipline, leadership, humility, and character. Those qualities would become the foundation of a remarkable life of service. Brigadier General Stephen M. Rutner devoted decades to serving our nation with extraordinary distinction. Over the course of a military career that spanned active duty, the Alabama National Guard, and the United States Army Reserve, he led soldiers and complex operations around the world, ultimately serving as Commanding General of the Deployment Support Command and Deputy Commanding General for Mobilization of the Military Surface Deployment and Distribution Command. His military honors are numerous and deeply earned, including the Legion of Merit, the Bronze Star Medal, the Defense Meritorious Service Medal, and many others, recognizing exceptional leadership and sacrifice. He was also recognized throughout his military career as a leader among leaders. But what may be most meaningful to us today is not simply what he achieved, but how he has lived. After his military career, General Rutner continued investing in others through education, serving alongside his wife, Paige, as a professor at Georgia College and State University. As a respected scholar in logistics and supply chain management, he has authored numerous professional publications and helped prepare the next generation of leaders. And through all of it, through military service, professional accomplishment, and personal success, he has never forgotten this school. For more than 20 years, General Rutner has faithfully supported this institution as an annual donor. Quietly, consistently, his commitment has helped make it possible for other young men to experience the same transformational education and formation that shaped his own life so many years ago. Graduates, there's a lesson in that. The measure of a life is not only what we accomplish for ourselves, but what we choose to give back to others. Leadership is not merely about rank and recognition. It is about stewardship. It is about remembering those who invested in you and deciding, in turn, to invest in those who come after you. General Rutner's life is a powerful example of service, humility, excellence, patriotism, scholarship, and generosity. And of what it means to pay forward the blessings one has received. Please join me in warmly welcoming home one of our school's most noteworthy alumni, Brigadier General Stephen M. Rutner.
Good morning. What a beautiful day for a tremendous ceremony. First, President Daniel, thank you for that kind introduction, but more importantly, thank you for inviting me to come speak today and all the hospitality. It is always a pleasure to come back to Riverside. And before I start speaking, I would like to recognize each and every person who works at Riverside, the support folks, the tax, the administrators, and of course the faculty. Please give them a warm round of applause for all the work they've done to put these cadets to be successful. And I was going to recognize the families and do that, but since President Daniel already did that, I will just add my personal thanks to all the families for the sacrifices and costs you made to bring these students here. And I think as you see them today and they graduate, you'll know that it's worth everything that you put into them. So thank you. So 4 or 5 weeks ago, maybe 6, Riverside reached out to me and said, we'd like you to speak. Can you do that? I said, sure, great, I'll be happy to do that. And then I went, oh no, what am I going to say? And as I started thinking about it, I said, oh, well, let me remember when I graduated. And I can vividly today, to this day, 45 years later, remember sitting in the Mooney Hall and looking up at our graduation speaker. My best friend and I were sitting there, and I'm looking at him, and I said to Bill at that point something along the lines of, hey, this is really cool because it's a former graduate and a Navy admiral. And I'm like, hey, I could do that. If he can do it, I can do it. It was very inspiring. I got close, okay? I tried. But I remember that vividly. And I was laughing last night. The salutatorian stole a little bit of my speech, and the nice young man from Auburn just stole another bit of my speech, but I'll work around that. And I remember looking at that, and here's the dirty little secret. I don't remember a single word he said. So my ego is not so great that I'm going to talk to you for the next few minutes, and I'm going to change everybody's life. So I come with two goals. The first goal is I want to give these bright young men some very practical advice that'll help you for the next 3 months to 3 years. And then my second goal is, as I was coordinating to speak, I sent back an email, and Ellen, bless your heart, wherever you are, you're so organized. She sent me an email, and I said, how long should I talk? And she said, 12 minutes. And I said, well, that's kind of an odd number, but okay, we'll make that work. So my second goal is I promise you we'll be done in 12 minutes, but I'm hoping to knock 2 minutes off and give that back to the students so you can spend that with your family celebrating, because that's more important. So having all said that, here we go, wish me luck. Practical advice. I'm going to give you guys 3 words, and they'll help you remember the items that I'm going to try to get you to think about. And the first word is passion. And most of us who've been to graduation ceremonies, you hear this word passion in a lot of them. And there's good reason for that. I cannot think of a worse life to go out there and do something just to make money and be miserable. So you've got to find something you're a little bit passionate about. And I'm going to put a little twist on the passion here in a minute. When I graduated, they told us go out, be a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, or a businessman. All great things. If that's what you have a passion for, go do it and have a great time. But with my class, many of us decided to go different routes. And I was thinking about in 2026, what might be good routes if you chose something differently. And I said, what about an airline pilot, right? What more? You can see the world and you help people get places safely. And oh, by the way, in 2026, it is a very highly paying job. Another one could be a teacher, right? We recognized all these wonderful teachers here. You get to help young men and women move ahead in their life and become better people. Another great passion. You could serve. I spent 35 years in some form of this uniform. And I will tell you, no matter what job you have, there are bad days. And in the Army, they can be horrifically bad. But even on those worst days, I knew I was doing something that I was passionate about. It was important. I had a direction. And I don't regret 1 minute of those 35 years. I'm going to use my nephew as a quick example. He's about 8 years older than you guys. And he hated school, just despised it. Got out, said, I'm never going to take another course in my life. College isn't for me. Got it. He's not my son, he's my sister's. We'll kind of let that process work out. And he kind of wandered around for about a year, different jobs and all that. And an electrician kind of took him under his wing and showed him what he did at work. And suddenly my nephew's like, this is cool. All of a sudden he's taking courses as an electrician apprentice and doing well, getting great grades. And after about 2 years, he became a full electrician, or a journeyman electrician is the correct term. And he went to work for this very large construction company out in the West. And he's driving an hour. He lives in Wyoming. Everywhere you drive is an hour, sort of like living in Atlanta. And so he's driving long distances, but he's loving what he's doing. And after about 2 years, he gets a really big promotion. And 2 years later, he gets another bigger promotion. And just recently, he got the third bigger promotion. And suddenly, he's a manager and has a whole team of electricians working for him. He's loving what he's doing. And he and his wife, and she is a probation officer, another great example. They're doing wonderful, and they're going to be successful, and they're going to be happy because they've found their passion. Now, here's the twist. When you find that passion, you got to be able to earn money doing it. The job of video game tester is not going to work out for you. All right? So find that passion that you can be financially successful. And I bet you, when you get in and do it, you'll be successful and the money will follow. So word one, passion. Word two, this goes to the comments you just made. Structure. And I'm going to echo it because it really is important. You are living in the most structured moment of your life, right? Riverside tells you when to get up, when to clean your room, when to stand in formation, when to eat, when to go to class, when to do drill and ceremony, when to do PT athletics, when to do activities, when you can go to town and have fun, when you go to bed. And I'm sure I'm missing 5 more when-yous. In 3 months, you're going to a great university, right? And I was looking at the list of all the universities, and I will admit, I was amazed. They posted on the website and on Facebook the other day this chart, and it was full of university logos. And I looked on there, and I caught my eye on one that I didn't recognize right off, and it was Rochester Institute of Technology. What an impressive school that most of us in this part of the country aren't aware of, but it's really high speed. And so I'm going through the list, and I saw last night, we saw the young man get the scholarship going to Boston College, Georgia Tech, school after school after school. And I'm starting to get a little intimidated. I'm like, these guys are smarter than me, and I'm supposed to tell them something? So I'm looking down, and thank God I saw a logo, and I went, there's hope for me. I might be a little ahead. Auburn University. So I tease, and I have to be very careful because our chairman of the board of trustees is an Auburn grad and a wonderful person. But I want to welcome all the Auburn folks, whichever one of you are going there, to the most passionate and ruthless and intense rivalry in college athletics and athletics in general. And I'll do that with one thing, Roll Tide. But as you, there you go, there we go. And so the point, though, is you're going from all the structure, and in 3 months, you're going to show up at whatever university is. And I guarantee you it's going to be something like this. And maybe during the summer, maybe right before classes start. And you're going to get orientation. You're going to be running around campus, and like this building does this does this, and you're fire hose trying to take it all in. And then at the end, they're going to give you a schedule. And in my day, it was paper. Your days, they probably just email it to you. And I hate to break it to you, it's probably going to suck because you're the low man on the totem pole and you're the incoming freshman. So you're going to end up with something like math, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 o'clock. English, Tuesday, Thursdays, 3:30. History, right at lunchtime. Oh, we forgot science. Wednesday nights, 6 to 9. And just to mess with you, because every university does this, we've got this special 1-hour course that's going to change your life. And we've got to fill the classrooms and make sure we do it all throughout the week. So you're going to get that Friday at 4 o'clock. Folks, that is all the structure you're going to get. That's it. You're on your own at that point. So I echo your comments, and I'm going to give you a very practical solution. And parents, this is one I want you to kind of absorb and remind them as we go through this process. Go to like Office Depot or Office Max. And you know those laminate kind of 30-day big whiteboards you can write on? Get one of them. Post it in your dorm room. And write, here on my schedule for the next 30 days, classes. Then, let's say you have the schedule I described, 3 mornings a week you have class. Put on there, let's say 8 o'clock. I'm going to get up at 7 o'clock all 5 days of the week. Not sleep in 2 days, all 5 days. Set a schedule. Maybe on Tuesday, Thursdays, you go to the gym and work out, right? Mens sano and corpore sano. Keep you athletic. Plug in. Here's where I'm going to study. And even if that day you don't have a whole lot to study, just take 15 minutes and review your notes from the last class. Put in some fun time. Put in activities. Take off for the weekends. You know, I'm not saying you shouldn't have fun. College is fun. But build that structure. And at the end, I'm going to go to bed at this time during the week, every night at the same time. When I was here, it was 10 o'clock, so we'll just use that. 10 p.m. bedtime. And you know what? Tuesday night, you're sitting there, or Monday night, you're sitting there, and you're watching Netflix. I'm going to, power through this series. Don't. Go to bed at 10, and the next morning, get up and go to the gym. I guarantee if you do that, it will help you immensely. Now, I'm not suggesting you do this for the rest of your life. I ask you to do it for 90 days. And at the end of those 90 days, you'll have a better feel of what you as an individual need to do for structure. And again, thank you for a former cadet saying that at Auburn. It's that important to you. All right, 2 words. I got my 3rd word here. My 3rd word is friendship. You guys have made some very close friends that you can keep for the rest of your life. But you're a little different, right? Because most of us come from all over the world. Thailand. When I was here, one of my friends who was a year ahead of me was from Thailand. Poksang Sucharasangu. I could spell that at one point in my life. I wish him nothing but the best, but I don't see him much because he's literally across the world. And you guys are going to go all over, right? We've already identified you're going to travel to all these great universities and Auburn. And you're going to go do great things. You're competent. You're smart. You're going to do these things, but your friends are going to be spread all over. You know, let's transpose. Let's assume we were living here in Gainesville and graduating from Gainesville High. I think there's still red elephants, right? They are, the red elephants. Well, in that case, you probably grew up here, your family's here, some of your classmates you may have known since, kindergarten. And when you graduate, half of them won't go anywhere, right? 50% of all Americans live within 100 miles of where they were born. So when you come home, you would see them. Folks, we don't operate that way. We're going to be a little different. So what I say is, once a month, we live in 2026, get on your phone, text one of your classmates. Doesn't have to be your best friend, just check in. Ask the guy that goes to Rochester Institute of Technology, what's it like in January in northern New York? The one going to BC, hey, are you now a Red Sox fan or do you still root for the Braves? Just check in, and I guarantee you, it will pay off 100-fold because you're part of this brotherhood that's now 115 years, and it will be the great thing you can do. And I will admit, standing right here, one of my great failures, my biggest regrets of Riverside was my second closest friend when I graduated. He passed suddenly and unexpectedly about 10 years after graduation. And unfortunately, I had not spoken to him in about 5 years. And I can give you all the excuses. It was the 80s. We didn't have technology. I was living in Alabama. He was in Miami. But I will regret that to my dying day. So check in. And we talked about scheduling and organization. Maybe put on your calendar. On Thursdays at 2, I'm just going to send a text to one of my classmates. So I've done my 3 words. There's going to be a quiz here in a minute. Where's my salutatorian? You and me, man. We're going to have a quiz because you stole part of my speech. I think I'm good with those 3, and I think I'm still on schedule. So I'm going to close and going to kind of segue the friendship into this process. So first, I'm so proud of each and every one of you. Congratulations. I know you're going to do good things. And for my Auburn folks, please know it is truly with love in my heart that I'm teasing gently. And so I offer this to them, to all of you, to everybody that's here, future graduates, family. If there's ever something I can do, please reach out. I'm on LinkedIn. I will respond. And about half the time, I'm like, I got an answer. I can help you. Boom, off we go. The other half of the time, I don't know. But I know somebody who does. And that former cadet or person, as part of the brotherhood, wants you to be successful, and we will help. So please reach out. All right, full circle. You and me. Afterwards, we're going to have a quiz with 3 words. So in 30 years, when you are super successful and they ask you to come up here speak or a like thing, you won't be able to say, I don't remember a single thing. Okay? With that, I ask God to bless each and every one of us that are here today. And I ask everyone here to say a little prayer in your heart for all our brave men and women that are serving all over the globe, protecting our freedoms and democracy. And a special thought to those young men and women and service members that are serving in the ongoing operations in Iran. Let's please get them home safely and as quickly as humanly possible once the mission is completed. With that, let's get on the important things, conferring of degrees. Thank you so very much.
General Rutner, thank you for challenging and inspiring our graduates. Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Cavalieri will now come forward to present you with a token of our thanks on behalf of the Corps. Cavalieri. We would also like to express our appreciation to Mrs. Rutner. If you would please stand to be recognized. Mr. Chairman, on behalf of the faculty and with the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I present these 35 cadets who have successfully completed the required course of study and earned the proud and coveted title of alumnus of Riverside Military Academy.
Please proceed, Dr.
As graduates depart from the stage, they will be welcomed as a brother in blue and by Alumni Council Chairman Zach Hawk and other alumni, and presented with the Alumni Challenge coin.
Ali Agbaje. Zion Baumgarten. Landon Birch. Mason Gaines Bryan. Jacques Chiller. David Cola. Louis Dorham. Logan Emerson. Carter Faulkner. Connor Gilchrist. Santiago Guzman Asensio. Kongtan Hyun. Manuel Jimenez. Konstantin Kolotov. Jacob Kronk. Key Lee. Naveen Majumdar. Jose Antonio Martinez. Colton Meeks. Christopher Olmsted. Michael Ome. Nathaniel Onasanya. Jian Rong. David Skoronsky. Justin Tatum. David Valdez. Caleb Wilhelm. Ethan Willis. Caleb Young. Okay. Brian Pham. Jack Cavalieri.
Graduates, please rise. You may now turn your ring so that 2026 is facing outward. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2026. And now please rise for the singing of the alma mater by the choir led by Mr. Andrew Jobson.
May we still loyal be.
Please join me in recognizing the Riverside Military Academy Band under the direction of Chief Warrant Officer Andy David and Mr. Jacob Alexandrian for their superb performance both yesterday and today. Thank you. And finally, a special thanks to Vice President Ellen DeFore, Academic Dean, Master Chief Steve Hadaway, the Commandant, Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Pooley, and their teams, as well as the entire Facilities Division for putting this week's events together. Events such as these take thousands of work hours to plan, practice, execute, and recover. Hats off to them, not literally but figuratively. The hats will come off in a minute. Faculty, at this time, please rise and form the recessional farewell gauntlet to my right. Any Riverside alumni who wish to welcome these new graduates to the alumni ranks, please join the gauntlet at the end of the faculty line. There you go. Lieutenant Colonel Pooley, please prepare to dismiss the graduates.
In a moment, the battalion commander will come forward to dismiss the class of 2026 for the last time. Get your cameras ready, and as a reminder, in order to maintain good order and discipline, we ask that you remain at your seats until all the graduates have entered and passed through the entire faculty and alumni gauntlet. This is an important tradition that allows the faculty and graduates to say their goodbyes and the alumni to welcome them into the fold as lifetime brothers in blue. Recent graduates and their families are then invited to link up off to your left at the very end of the gauntlet in front of the mess hall. Battalion Commander, post. Lieutenant Colonel Cavalieri, for the last time, dismiss the class of 2026.
Class of 2026, dismiss!